Hey everyone, welcome to week 1 of our 1st and 2nd Peter study. Thank you for joining us for these next 8 weeks. I'm excited to dig into 1st, 2nd Peter with you guys. And today, as we start our study, we open up the book of Peter. And one of the things that Peter talks about this week, and actually even in our verses today, talks about this amazing inheritance that we have in Christ. And when I was reading through it and kind of studying and thinking about what I wanted to write about and what I wanted to say, it brought to mind my sweet Nana. And she always would talk about, with my family and I, she'd always talk about how she's saving for this inheritance for us. And she would always remind us and say, guys, one day when I'm gone, I'm going to have this inheritance for you guys. And, I'm just really excited to give you this money. And we would always just be like, oh, Nana, you don't have to do that. And we don't want your money and, and everything. But just who she was, she got so much enjoyment out of giving. And whether it was our birthday gifts or Christmas or even talking about this inheritance that she would leave for us one day, she just took a lot of enjoyment out of that. And so we finally got to a point where we would just thank her and kiss her on the forehead and just say, thank you, Nana, so much. We don't, ever want anything, expect anything, but thank you. That was really, really sweet of you. And over the course of the years and stuff, one thing also to mention is we did not come from a family of means. My grandpa, we're from Ohio, Indiana actually, and my grandpa worked in the factories there, and they were just really good at just saving their money. And she just, like I said, just took a lot of enjoyment out of it. And so over the course of years, my grandpa eventually had passed away. And a few years later, my grandma needed to go into an assisted living facility. And so those of us, my family that lived in Texas, we wanted her to come and live with us. And then we have family in Indiana too. And so my grandma did, she tried. And she is just an Indiana woman, born and raised, grew up there her whole life. And so she came out to Texas, and we learned that, you can take Nana out of Indiana, but you can't take Indiana out of Nana. And so she just missed being there where she had, been born and raised with other family and relatives. And so she eventually went back to Indiana. But we would go and visit her as much as we could. And every time we'd go back to visit her, she would always remind us of, okay, remember guys, I have this, this inheritance for you guys. And she just took a lot of enjoyment out telling us. And but over the course of the years of her being in this assisted living facility, it just the money, the cost of it increased year after year, and eventually this inheritance that she had been talking about and telling us about for years eventually was nothing. And she actually had to use all the money just to keep her in this facility. And I remember when she told us, she was just heartbroken and just really so devastated and sad. And again, we never wanted the money. We never expected to have the money or anything. And so we just, really try to love on her and say, what, you gave us the best inheritance that you could. Your time and your love and these sweet memories, and a Nana who just loved us with every part of her heart. And so that was the best. That was the best inheritance she could leave for us. But Peter talks about this as Christians. We have this amazing inheritance. And he starts out the book of Peter talking about this amazing inheritance because in life, we are going to have troubles. We are going to have heartbreak. We're going to have tribulation. And we need to be reminded as we're going through these hard times, because that's what was going on with Peter and the Christians that he was talking to, is they are being persecuted. And they are being persecuted for their faith. And they needed to be reminded that there is this amazing inheritance in Christ, that this world, this earth that we live on, you guys, this is not our home. This is not our home. And I think so many times we get so caught up in the life that we're living here and saving for the future that we miss the fact that there is an inheritance waiting for us in heaven. And so Peter encourages the Christians, encourages us nowadays that, listen guys, this is not our home and we have an inheritance to look forward to. So when we are going through heartache and sadness and tribulations, we got to keep our mind focused on heaven and the inheritance that waits for us. And so my challenge to all of us this week is, let's invest in eternity. Let's invest in the inheritance. And the way that we do that is let's invest our lives in things that are going to stand the test of time. And what are those things? God and people. And so that's my challenge to you this week, is do something that you can do to invest in somebody else. And then just share it with your groups and just share your stories and everything. So again, thank you for joining us. I'm so glad you're here with us. I look forward to digging into 1st and 2nd Peter with you. And until next time, talk to you later. Bye-bye.